Kimi is now in GitHub Copilot. That is Moonshot AI's Kimi K2.7 code, a model from a Beijing-based lab. The same Kimi that House investigators specifically named when they opened their probe into US companies using Chinese AI in April. Microsoft looked at that probe, looked at Kimi, and added it to the GitHub Copilot model picker anyway. If you use Copilot today, here is what this means for you right now. Kimi K2.7 code is available in your model picker across VS Code, Visual Studio, JetBrains, Xcode, Eclipse, the Copilot CLI, GitHub.com, and GitHub Mobile. On business and enterprise plans, it is off by default. Your administrator has to explicitly enable it. On individual plans, it is available to select. If your company has not set a Copilot model policy, your developers can route to a Chinese model inside a Microsoft product with a few clicks. That is the situation. Now let me give you the actual context. Kimi K2.7 code dropped on Hugging Face on June 12th. GitHub Copilot added it on July 1st, 19 days from wait publication to general availability inside one of the largest developer platforms on Earth. That is the fastest open wait to enterprise platform transition anyone in this space has tracked. By comparison, it takes most models months to reach one major IDE integration. The model itself is a mixture of experts' architecture with 1 trillion total parameters, but only 32 billion active per token. That matters for cost. You are not running a trillion parameter forward pass. You are running a 32 billion one. It prices at lower cost than Copilot's frontier model options through GitHub's AI credit system, which uses provider list rates. Kimi is now one of 5 AI labs in the Copilot picker: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Microsoft, and Moonshot AI. That last one is the Beijing-based one. Here is the nuance that most coverage is missing. Microsoft's implementation is actually more cautious than the way most companies have been consuming Chinese models. First, the weights are open. Kimi K2.7 code's parameters are public on Hugging Face. Any enterprise can audit them, inspect them, run them in air-gapped environments, or compare behavior against other models. That is not possible with closed-source Chinese API models like some of the commercial GLM variants. Second, Microsoft hosts it on Azure. The inference runs in Microsoft's infrastructure in US data centers. Your code prompts do not leave to Moonshot's servers. Third, admin controls are real. Enterprise plans defaulted off. IT teams can block it entirely. None of that means there is no risk. The model was trained by a Chinese company on data moonshot controls using a process Microsoft has not independently verified. Distillation concerns, censorship, and national security considerations do not disappear because inference runs on Azure, but the risk profile of Kimi on Azure is genuinely different from Kimi via third-party API. That distinction matters, and most headlines are not making it. The congressional probe context is important here. In April 2026, House Homeland Security and House Judiciary sent letters to Anysphere and Airbnb asking specifically why their products were routing to Kimi and Quen through API calls. The concern was unvetted data exfiltration to foreign-controlled servers, distillation of American AI, and potential censorship influence. Microsoft's Azure hosting addresses the first concern directly. It does not fully address the second or third. What should you actually do with this information? If you run IT or security at a company using Copilot Business or Enterprise, check your Copilot model policy today. Log into your GitHub admin console, go to Copilot settings, and verify which models are enabled. If you have not set an explicit policy, your default currently includes access to Kimi. Decide whether that is appropriate for your organization before your developers decide for you. If you're a developer using Copilot individually, Kimi K2.7 code is worth trying for pure coding tasks. It is cheaper, it is fast, and for code that is not proprietary or sensitive, the risk profile is manageable. For anything involving internal business logic, credentials, or customer data, the same rule applies as any external API. Do not send it if it would matter if it leaked. And if you have been following this channel over the past week, you now have the full picture of what ZAI and Moonshot AI are doing in the US developer market. It is not an accident. These are coordinated, well-funded plays to get Chinese AI models into every layer of the American developer stack, the model tier, the API marketplace, the coding IDE, and now, as of July 1st, the most widely deployed coding assistant in the world. Subscribe if you want to follow where this goes. This story is not close to done. Try 11 Labs, the AI voice in this video, https try 11labs.io artist boa jpptto. This video contains affiliate links.